I want to tell you a story about me. 6 years ago, I started having heart problems. Doctors told me they were just panic attacks. And then one night, I go to sleep and I wake up with another panic attack, gripping my chest, except for this time it's not going away. I get in my car, I drive to the doctors, go to the emergency room, only to find out that I'm having a heart attack and that I have an enlarged heart. The doctor looks at me, and after all these tests, he says, "You got maybe 6, 7 left with a heart like that." Do you imagine the look on my face? How I felt at that very moment. Wow. 6 left. That was a year ago. And I try to keep in my mind that I'm going to wake up every day with the best intentions, that I'm going to wake up every day a better person, that I'm going to say I'm sorry to everybody I've ever hurt. I'm going to make this list. I'm going to go out. This is what I'm going to do. And I try to do these things. I start trying to live as best I can. But that didn't mean I couldn't just stop working. It's not the way it works. I kept going. Kept working. I go to sleep at night thinking, is this one going to be my last? Waking up in the middle of the night going, whew. Am I dead? Am I still here? Pinch myself just to see if I'm alive. Through this experience, I found myself thinking less about me and thinking more about others, trying to think more of my actions, trying to make the best of it. And even I lose my patience knowing that that could be the last thing I ever said to that person. Even I falter and fail in this tragic moment. So I keep pushing, you keep working hard. I start paying attention to everybody else and realizing that everybody else is addicted to something, that everybody else seems to be having these issues. They're addicted to something. And all I've been trying to be addicted to is living. I meet a lot of people that are hooked on drugs. And they're like, Anubis, I need help. I need guidance. I need structure. I need that leadership. I can't be like this anymore. I don't know why I'm like this. I don't know how I faltered, how I failed so hard. And everybody does. Everybody does. But in that moment, that person can't sit back and say, hey, I faltered. Hey, I failed. Because it's just them in that moment. But it's not just you. It's everybody. It's a lot of people. Everybody has those faltering moments. And they say, well, Anubis, my family doesn't care anymore. My friends, they don't care anymore. Everybody's outcasted me. I don't know what to do. And I have to sit there and I have to tell you, have you just tried living? And then they look at me with this hurt look in their eyes. They look like puppy dogs that have been just strung around through the rain. Like they don't know how to live. Like somebody just never instilled it in them, or they have never instilled it in themselves, or no one has ever just looked at them and said, have you just tried living and stopped trying death? Growing up, through the years, people have come to me and said, hey, you're my hero. You saved me. You took that time and you never gave up. You were there. You gave me lots of advice. You're my hero. Here's the thing about heroes. They have to falter. They have to fail. Look at all the heroes in your life. They have all gone through tragedy. You look at that successful man walking down the road, but you're just jealous, you're envious of his success. But did you stop to think of the heartbreak, of the tears, of the time that he spent? How do you live? You take a time, you take a step, you take a moment, and you live it for yourself. That's how you do it. One step at a time. You say no to the things that you know are bad for you and start trying to live for the things that are good for you. And once you take care of you, you start to be able to take care of everything else. And you look around and say, wow, these things can be great. This world's great. And what does it take to be great? It takes a great personality. It takes a great mindset. The world's beat you down to say you don't have that, but I'm here to tell you, you do have that. You do have a great mindset because you are here. You have a purpose to fulfill. You haven't figured it out yet because you haven't stopped for a minute to live and say, I am living for a purpose, for a reason. And that reason is for you and then what you care about, and through that you affect the world in a great way. A lot of people that are addicted and a lot of people that are hurt through depression and sadness and sickness, through death, through loss, even through gain. You have to remember that there's someone out there who has it worse. You might not think it in the time, or you might say, it can't get any worse than this, but it can, and it will. And that's when you have to dig your heels in, and you have to dig deep within yourself, and you have to learn not to take it out on the world around you. You got to learn to tame that beast and make it your own. And remember that heroes are built on sorrow, that heroes are built on tragedy, and that you're going to become a legend. You are a legend. How many people nowadays don't want to take accountability for their actions? Whether in leadership, a government, a society. When you start to not take accountability for what you do, that gives way for evil men and women and others to start to control you. And that's not what your life is based on. You would not be living your life the way you are if you wanted it built on control. So you have to take the control in. You have to grab the reins. And it starts by each and every single one of us. Inside of us all, there is a darkness. Inside of us all, there is a beast. And you learn to say, this thing of darkness, I acknowledge mine. And I leave it behind. And you walk the other way. Because that is you. That is your power. You can do this. Become the legend that you were meant to be. Become the hero that you are meant to be. Be that person that proves them wrong. They said, hey, you can't do that. You ain't willing to go out there and get that. You're not willing to stop doing what you're doing. You stop. You prove them wrong because you know in the end, that is where you're going to get your satisfaction from. That is where you're going to get a growth. And that is where you will become a legend. Take control of your life and become great. This is your story. This is your chapter. This is your new beginning. Embrace it.